We have got you covered. First day hurricane season for the Atlantic is June 1st. That's today. So let's bring in Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Bryan Norcross, who is live in Miami from the National Hurricane Center Conference as the season kicks off. Bryan, great to see you. And I read your very first tropical discussion just about 10 minutes ago in your email address. I appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Bob, and it's been a big morning here, really a big crowd here at the National Hurricane Center this morning as we kicked off hurricane season 2026. The director of the Hurricane Center, Dr. Mike Brennan, spoke, of course. Also, local emergency managers here in Dade and Broward. I asked them, by the way, how about the 1926 hurricane? Could you imagine the great Miami hurricane happening today over a city of this size of many millions of people when there were about 150,000 people back then? So anyway, lots of folks, media folks, emergency management folks, FEMA folks here, and it's a big day. It's always a big day kicking off the hurricane season, even though the Atlantic is quiet right now. But let me bring in the Deputy Director of the National Hurricane Center, my old friend Jamie Rome. Jamie, I've been working with you guys for a long time, but I honestly don't think I've ever seen technology and ideas change this fast. Talk about what's been on your mind and what's changing for this year and where you see things going.
Well, I mean, as you alluded, technology is changing so quickly, which means the public's need and desire for new and fresh information is never greater. And we want to make sure that we're serving up that information, not only it's accurate and scientifically valid, but serving it up to them on the platform that they wish to consume information. I mean, I'm not breaking news today to tell you that most people now spend a lot of time consuming information on social media or videos, short videos. So, helping to ensure that we're porting ourselves over to that new medium is at the forefront of our minds.
A big part of what you've been working on is this idea of the cone, and this has been going on for a long time. There's been a lot of thinking over the years about, is there a way to make a better cone? You've taken a step this year, and you're looking to the future there. So talk about the kind of information that's gone operational this year.
Yeah, so one of the new things with the cones is, we used to basically the cone, without getting too complicated math, was formed by a series of circles around each forecast time. We went all the way back to the late 60s and early 70s to see how men and women here at the National Hurricane Center were playing around with these ellipses. And it turned out that was an old idea whose time had finally come. And so the new cone this year experiments with ellipses to better account for the storm motion or the speed at which it was moving, so the forward speed. So this allows us to make a more accurate and confident cone. The old cone was 67%. The center stayed inside 67% of the time. The new cone, we've upped it to a 90% certainty cone. And the most important thing here is this is just a down payment. This is just laying the foundation for more changes to the cone in future years. So we're really talking about starting a journey to bring the cone sort of up to modern times.
So the old cones, both of them, the 67% and now this new 90% one that we're going to see for the first time this year, are based on past forecasts, right? Past forecast errors. I guess the idea is what we really want to do is talk about what is the current weather pattern and what should the cone be to reflect that. Is that fair?
Yeah, so we colloquially refer to this as a dynamic cone. All cones are dynamic, but a dynamic cone, meaning it's factoring in specific information about that particular storm and about that particular time in the storm life cycle. We started to do some internal evaluation and experimentation of a truly dynamic cone, and not surprisingly, it kind of jumps around a little bit because the models jump around a little bit. And, we've got to figure out a way to sort of, help that cone sort of remain a little bit more stable from forecast to forecast. So, yeah, we're working on it behind the scenes. It's probably something that's going to pop up in a future conference that you and I are going to attend.
Yeah, can you predict? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Or things are moving so fast. I mean, things that I would have thought at some point would be 5 years out now are next year.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to make a forecast for that reason because how quickly can technology solve this problem? In the past I would have told you it'd take a year or two to crack this nut, but with the way technology is moving and new AI tools, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we solved it quicker.
Are you optimistic about the AI models this year based on what we saw last year?
Yeah, so the AI models, as you know, demonstrated remarkable accuracy in early sort of signatures for track. And so the next thing we're looking for, and you heard it, Mike sort of alluded to it, is it's starting to get better at intensity and soon structure. You know, nobody thinks about structure, but structure really is like the size of the storm, the shape of the storm, and this really determines what you, the user, feel. How much wind, do you lose power? That's from structure, and we're seeing great progress of late in predicting structure.
And you're going to get that this year from at least the Google DeepMind model, right? And I don't know, maybe other models as well?
Correct. So we'll get it from the Google DeepMind, and we'll be evaluating it internally, just like we have done for the last couple of years with that team. And structure doesn't have that sort of pizzazz, if you will, of track, but I'm telling you, the structure is what determines really what you experience on the ground.
Yeah, including what the storm surge is.
Correct.
Yeah, importantly. All right, Jimmy Rome, the Deputy Director of the National Hurricane Center. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it. Always appreciate it. So, Bob, the rate of change, the rate of thinking about new ways to do it, taking advantage of new technology, is at a rapid pace here. Having been dealing with the Hurricane Center folks for over 40 years, I can tell you that they are ingesting the new data, as we all are, living in this new AI world and a world of new thinking. So it's great to be part of this here at the Hurricane Center today. Bob?
Yeah, it's been great to see you guys, absolutely. I was watching the press conference that started at 11 o'clock this morning. And Bryan, you and Ian Oliver have a show coming on at 8 o'clock tonight. What are you guys going to be doing then?
Well, we're going to be talking about everything that's happened today and the progress that hurricane forecasting has made, what's going on in the tropics. We're also going to look back at the Great Miami Hurricane of 1926. We're going to be down just off Brickell Avenue, which is a very, very vulnerable part of this incredible city. This city, compared to 1926, at that time it was a boom city, and they were building high-rise buildings, but of course, what they built then was nothing like what exists in Miami today. We'll be right in the middle of it, talking about what happened then and and imagining what would happen now if we had a repeat of something like the Great Miami Hurricane 100 years later.
Yeah, and you know what I've got as my co-anchor today that I think you'd be proud to see? Little Sahara dust, Bryan. This is collected from Jared Maloney. He got that from East Morocco in January. So we always talk about it. Now we always wonder what it looked like. Looks like cinnamon is what it looks like. So Sahara dust is right here with me. Some stuff we just collected from January.
Yeah, well, we see that in the sky here, you know, when we get a little bit farther into June. And there's Sahara dust out there right now. Anyway, the Atlantic is calm for that reason, and also because the upper level winds are just not conducive right now.
Understood. All right, Bryan Norcross, thank you very much for the report down there at the NHC. Great stuff. And we'll look at you again later on this afternoon and 8 o'clock tonight as well.